I'll tell you who doesn't play it up, and they should, is SNL. Boy, does that show stink.
Really?
I'm seeing a lot of that online now.
SNL
Like, it's really
stinks,
bad.
and it breaks my heart because I loved that show so much when I was a kid, and I'll tell you, even the last couple of years, I watched it with my wife and I. We'd be like, oh, you know, when we have nothing to watch whatsoever, it's like, we have it on the DVR. Let's just check it out and see how the episode was. And there were a couple episodes like there were some good bits, right? And I think Colin Jost and Michael Che, who I think are the best things on the show. The news part is the only part I ever laugh at and I think is really good. Correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know enough, but I looked at the credits and it says that they're head writers. They're only writing for themselves because they're not writing sketches, and if they are, they shouldn't be because the sketches are unwatchable. It's like they wasted Steve Carell. I watched as much as we could. I can't even tell you. We kept fast forwarding through everything. I couldn't believe how bad it was. It was so bad.
There were nuggets of like, oh, I can see what you're going for, but and then none of them.
Oh, you watched the whole show?
Yeah, and they all the blackouts were all just fizzles. Like there was no good like blackout line. There was no good. They didn't know how to finish it, but they were like, oh, this is an obscure, fun concept.
There was something in there. There was something in there. It's fun because Brett. So for people who don't know, Brett is a very accomplished sketch comic, and he's been doing it for a long. I forget, what am I not supposed to say? What's the wrong word that Ken always yells at me about? Is it sketch?
Skits.
Skits. I don't say skits. Sketch. So he was a sketch comic for a long time, and a great one at that. And so if he would have told me you're crazy, I think they were really funny. I'm like, all right, maybe I'm just not seeing it. But you were on the same page here because it just felt like you could see him around the board and like, oh, well, I don't know how to end it. We'll just have him say something wacky and then they can get out of it because that silly thing with the cats in space was terrible. I
gotta check that out.
Thanksgiving
Cats in space sounds pretty good.
I thought Steve Carell was really funny in that one.
He was fine in it, but the writing was awful.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't know what to do with it, and like it just got worse and worse and worse. And they really have gone, and this one wasn't as bad, but they've really leaned in really hard with the politics.
Yeah, very hard.
Really hard.
Very hard.
And it's like, the thing is, too, it's like, you've got, like, if you're going to give shit to one side, you got to give shit to the other side, and you got to be balanced. And the thing is, too, like we always say on this show, you're talking to everybody. You're doing comedy for everybody. It's okay to have a point of view. But when you're starting to slay a little bit more towards propaganda, and I think that the show itself is just not what it used to be.
Doesn't that happen? I mean, Saturday Night Live has these like waves, right? Like maybe they need to get some more peeps in, some fresh blood. I don't know. But
You're
at the
not
same
wrong.
point, I've fallen off because of this.
There's no stars.
There's nothing watching anymore. It's just kind of I'm like, all right.
It's amazing when they have amazing comedic people,
Yeah.
and it falls. Like if you have Zach Galifianakis, and it's just a
Was
kind
he
of a
on?
show.
Was he, oh, you mean as a
Yeah, I
hosting.
mean, I'm just saying, like hosts like that
Carell.
I've seen. Even like Will Ferrell, I don't think I really enjoyed that much when they had him on recently.
It shows you how important the head writing is because the head writing right now, it's just not there. Because if you look at the talent itself, it's pretty good. I think Mikey Day is very funny. I like, I mean, Kate McKinnon has lost me. I used to love Kate McKinnon. Like when she first hit the scene, I thought she was the funniest thing to be around in a long time. But she fell into the same pocket, I think, that Kristen Wiig fell in. And that's like just relying on one trick. If you see Kate McKinnon now, she like does big movements or wacky faces, or that's all. That's what she relies on. And I think that's because maybe she's bored. I have no idea, but it's just there's not that breakout star. I'd say Kate McKinnon's probably the closest, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm bored. Do you watch it? Sorry,
I plead the fifth on all things SNL. It employs my entire family, so
it does.
I don't speak about it on air.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right, well.
No, that's totally fine.
that's
I just don't.
Plead the fifth. I was wondering. I was like, why are you so quiet?
Yeah.
I get it. I understand.
It's a show.
God, the show's
and it's on
amazing.
Saturdays.
It's so really good. It's so good.
Copster?
We'll shed some positivity on it.
Yeah.
Last week was pretty good. Did you see the Invest Twins sketch? Like they had a couple of good ones last week, and I thought they started off pretty strong. Adam Driver was a pretty good host.
Yeah.
They just kind of hit or miss. It's when they really shoved like the cold opening for the season opener was pretty good. The Brett Kavanaugh stuff, like that was all really funny. But yeah, sometimes I think they do lean like we get it. Like it's going on right now. Maybe let's try something else for once.
And the thing with that though is that's usually their best stuff. As much as I think that let's go away from it, try to come up with some new characters, the political stuff is the stuff that they actually it looks like there's the most effort into it, because that Kavanaugh thing was written really well, and there was an ending bit to it. But I was just so bummed watching that show, because I used to be such a fan. But I don't know, maybe it'll.
I still watch it. I mean, I've watched it from the time and when my mom was letting me watch it when I shouldn't have probably been watching it. And I've always wanted to be on. It's been so I'm not saying it's complete trash, but I do see that that last there's just it's like that finish. That's a lot of people write sketches and they don't know how to.
Yeah,
tag it.
Doesn't tag.